All right, guys. Well, welcome to our Go Team Coach call tonight, and it is our first call of September, September 11th. So we remember the people who perished just brutally so many years ago. It's just amazing to think about even today, just with gratitude for our country and what just freedoms that we get, and the fact that we remember, I think, people today. So that's good. We'll actually, I think part of what I love to think about is when bad stuff like that happens, is all the more impetus to do good stuff in the world. And that's what I really truly think we're a part of, and doing good things in helping people. Because here's the truth, guys. I want to just frame this whole coaching journey just for a moment for you, is the fact that people, have you noticed that people are busy? Hi, Nancy. Have you noticed
Hi.
that people are busy? Um, and most people are just kind of involved in their own stuff, right? They just are so busy. They just got, nose to the grindstone. They just like, they're down, heads underwater. They're just trying to get it done. And when we come alongside them and genuinely offer good help within this. Now, especially if you're younger, you're like, I don't feel like I can offer much to them. You can offer something, okay? And it's just your experience and a little bit of your story. But so when we do come alongside people, guys, it really matters. And it makes such a difference, because the fact is people need that encouragement alongside them. Um, there's so many people across our country that are struggling when it comes to health and fitness, and they've tried so many different techniques, and the fact is they've never just really had a comprehensive overall system, which is why I so believe in what we get to do on a regular basis, is the fact that we've got great workouts, we've got great nutritional support, we've got the great group support, the tribe support, really, that makes all the difference, I think, in people's mindsets and feeling that they're not alone. And then allows them to have the convenience of doing that all at home, which I think is pretty stunning. And the fact is, guys, with my busy teaching schedule now, heading back into the teaching world, I'm up at 4:30 working out, 4:30 in the morning, and I'm getting it done. But it's the only way I could get it done. Like, I couldn't travel to a gym and go, hey, I'm going to travel and spend another, half hour, 45 minutes just in transit doing that kind of stuff, and then coming back and having to shower and all that stuff. And so, like, honestly, guys, it is just such a blessing to have it. And it's just a great part of my life, which is why I believe in it so much. All right, let me share my screen like I said I would. All right. Fantastic. Everybody can see that? Yes? You can see? Yes? Okay, good. Okay, so quick shout out to Tashana Kenny, who is joining us for her first time. So we're going to totally, as we would do a nice welcome, I'm going to totally open the lines, and I'm going to unmute us for just a second, and we can all cheer loud. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheer loud. Woo!
Yay!
Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
There it is. There it is. That's my happy. All right, I'm going to mute us all back again. Thank you. So welcome to the Go Team, sister. And Linda, by the way, I'm thinking about Go Team T-shirts. I have a T-shirt that I need to mail out this week to you. I promise to get that out to you, which would be great. Tashana, if you did want a Go Team T-shirt, we can talk about that, and we can. They're $15, and if you want to get one to be part of the Go Team, kind of a fun thing to have. So that's that. Real quickly here, guys, we exist to equip and inspire busy coaches with the essentials to bring freedom-bringing businesses that help people achieve their goals and live healthy and fulfilling lives. That's really what we do. Last part is beach bodies. First part is really us, how we uniquely live that out. Equip and inspire, equip and inspire, equip and inspire. If you can do that as a coach to other coaches as you build your business, okay, beyond your retail business, and you can also equip and inspire challengers, I suppose, as well. But I think ultimately the Go Team exists to really help coaches to coach well. But that is the thing. When we equip and inspire people, they make progress. And that's a really, really, really great thing. Okay, I want to celebrate some success on our team. This is for last month. We had So I had 12 Success Club points. So Tashawn, I'm not sure if you understand what that means yet. You may understand what the Success Club means. Basically helping, that's 6 new people of last month. So each 2 numbers is a person, effectively. Kelsey came out of the blue, literally the week before, had 0 points, and then bam, 10 points, which is 5 people in that month, which is funny because I'm just going to say this to her. I think she can't be on the call tonight, but I would just say to her, she was like, well, I'm thinking about just like backing off a little bit because things haven't been going so well. So I'm thinking about kind of backing off and then bam, she gets hit. 5 people come in, and then even more people are wanting to join part of our challenge. And she's like, all right, I guess I totally feel like I need to do this. And I'm like, all right. So it was really, really fun. Nancy, congrats to you. First time Success Club 10 as well. First time, fantastic. She's got a mug that is hopefully on its way. It would be amazing. And so the Go Team Coach mug, when you hit Success Club 10, you get a cool Go Team mug that you can fashionably display in pictures and say, wow, I've got my coaching mug. Which honestly, just being real, little things like that make a difference. It's kind of fun because then you can it's like the little easy segue. I got my coffee this morning. Oh, yeah, just doing some coaching stuff, as you can see in my fancy mug. And it makes it a little more playful. That's kind of a fun thing. So we call that effectively wear and share. Okay? Technically, you're not wearing it, but like when you wear shirts and things like that, that's something, and Nancy's experienced that several times. I think several of you guys have experienced that in your experience, which is really, really great. Shout out also to Stephanie and to Claire, 8 and 6, so good stuff there. And Andy Cashman finished out the month with 2. So that's good. Okay, we have a question. Yes, so good stuff, everyone. So Claire, nice work. Again, even if you hit minimally Success Club 5, which these days is Success Club 6, you can't really technically hit Success Club 5 anymore. Back in the day, you could earn single points, but we can't anymore. It's only double points. So when you hit that, you're minimally getting referral customers to your business. Now, again, just to clarify here real quick, when you hit Success Club 5, you get a referral customer, but you don't get the commission for that person. So that might be a person who you get as a Beachbody on-demand customer, okay? They might be a customer that becomes your then customer, and then if you help them, the cool part is then, and let's say, hey, we want to join one of our challenges, and they end up ordering Shakeology, then you get commissions based on that, okay? If you are Success Club 10 and above, you not only get that referral customer, but you also get the commission that would be that, which is really kind of a cool thing. It's a nice free way to get extra money a little bit each month. And then if you help them and you connect with them and they maintain beyond that, ultimately you're earning more money. Because the cool thing is, let's say, and I honestly, guys, I still have some from way back. I'm still talking, and I tried to convince these guys to consider becoming a discount coach to save them a little bit of money. I literally have people from my first year of coaching. I've been doing this 5.5 years. So I've got some people who have been on a monthly basis. Let's just do the math here real fast. 30-ish bucks per month. Let's just call it 30, okay? But it's 30-ish. So $30 a month, right? Times 12 months. Let's say, so it's $360 per month, or excuse me, per year. Times, let's just do this. This is just one person, right? 300 times 4 years. Let's just keep it to 4, not even 4.5. Okay, so 4 years times 360. That's 12, 15-ish, $1,500 given to me by a. Check it out. Isn't that crazy? Think about that. $1,500 given to me over for 5 years for this person who is, just they're getting healthy and they're like, okay, I'm just going to do my Shakeology out there, and they're faithful orders. And I've tried several times where I'm like, hey, you want to go? No, they're like, no, I'm just going to stay a discount. I'll stay a retail customer, which is pretty amazing. Okay, just throwing that to you. All right, now guys, we are going to move forward. We got a special thing tonight. Jen, are you there? Jen, who? You say hey?
Yeah, I'm here.
There's Jen. Hi, Jen. How are you?
Hi, guys.
Hey. So Jen came up with a brilliant idea, which I wanted to. I think we kind of exchanged a little bit of an idea about the team call topic, which is treating your business like a business. And I think, guys, and I was like thinking, okay, well, different angles we could do it. But there's a founding coach named Dave Ward. Okay, so he is Beachbody, really Beachbody. I'm Beachbody old. He's like Beachbody ancient. Like he's like original 2007-ish probably when it first formed, 2007, 2008. I'm 2012. Okay, so he's like when before Shakeology, it was like P90X, a few little supplements, and I think Insanity, they were even thinking about it, just thinking about it, right? So there was very little in terms of stuff to quote unquote sell to make any profit on this thing, which is kind of an interesting thing. So, but anyway, but he is going to talk to us tonight, guys. So Jen found this video, and then I'm going to share a different screen with you here real quick. So real fast, hold on. So rule number 10, treat your business like a business. Now this comes from his playbook, okay, which is a set of 10 rules that he has. So I'm going to stop the share. So we're actually going to watch this together, okay? I'm going to sequester you to actually watch and pay attention. I'm asking you to pay attention. Don't check Facebook. Don't go on and message your challengers or anything. That's not the time. This is not the time to do that. Multitasking is great sometimes, but most of the times it's actually really not. But particularly in this case, I would love it if we could focus in and really make sure we're actually we can take some notes and then discuss. And the way I'd like to do it is discuss in the chat. Okay, so I'll kind of turn off my sound so I'm not making noise either, because I could tend to do that unless we want to stop for a second. So we're going to watch a little video from him and then ultimately talk a little bit about how it might affect us. Okay? Really, really great stuff. And this is about treating your business, guys, like a business. So let me share a different screen with you. Where is it? Oops, let me go over here real fast. No. All right. I will do. That should be good. Okay. You guys ready? Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and okay. Is everything out of the way? Can you see enough? Can you see the screen? All right. So here we go. This is Dave Ward talking about treating your business as a business. Let me know if you can hear the sound, okay?
Hey everybody, it's Dave Ward, and I'm back with the playbook, which of course is our 10 rules for success here.
Okay, let's look at that list real quick before we go, okay? So, be here in the ear, plug in the support system, personal development, Shakeology, share your story, make a list and use it, expand your network, be system dependent, be a success partner, and treat your business like a business. So this is the last one, okay, of the rule book. Guys, I would say this real fast. He's got 10 videos, about 15 minutes-ish per, okay? Goal. I just got to say. So we'll make sure Dave Ward, and we'll make sure you have it. It's FCN coaching, coach training on YouTube. All right, I'll stop talking. Here we go.
Team Beachbody. You can enjoy all of this content on the YouTube channel I have set up for my team.
Hey, Dan, can you hear us? Do y'all have sound?
Try this.
Oh,
To a live event and see what someone like Danielle
Got it?
Natoni
got it.
about this business. You know, it's not that we're doing something that's dramatically different or we think some dramatically different way, but I just know from, if you listen to the last one about finding a success partner, her take on that is way better than whatever I would have told you. And so I really want to encourage you to do that. You can find those at theplaybookevents.com. All right, let's dive in with treat your business like a business. The first thing I think you have to just sort of wrap your head around here is that there's a big difference between being an employee and being an entrepreneur. And I want to take a few minutes and talk about that because I think there's just a mindset thing that goes on here that not a lot of people fully embrace. My favorite definition of an entrepreneur is someone who accepts all the risks of the success or failure of a business. What that means to me is that if it happens and your business blows up and it goes crazy and you get whatever it is that you want to get out of this thing, and again, everybody wants something different. It's about what you want here. But if you get what you want out of the thing, it's because you did it. Congratulations. And you get to own that because you did it. I have yet to meet anybody who's had a great deal of success in this business because somebody else did all the work for them. That's not how this works. Being an entrepreneur means it's on you. What it also means, and the scary bit, and what I think chases a lot of people away, is that if it didn't work, you didn't get what you wanted, that's on you. It's on you. And I think too many people look around for somebody to blame when things don't go the way they wanted to. That doesn't work here. And that's what I love about being an entrepreneur. It's a very, it's a meritocracy, meaning that it's based on whether you did it or not. No one hands you anything here. You either earn it or you don't. It's pretty simple. And I really like that. But it took me a while to wrap my head around that because I remember I was an employee. You've heard my story if you've watched all these videos. I practiced law for 10 years before I became a full-time coach. And that arrangement was very different than the one we have here. You know, when I was practicing law, it was really simple. It was like, and pretty much every job works like this, right? The company says, we're going to pay you X amount of money for Y amount of work. If you don't do that amount of work, you're fired later. And we all know that going into it, right? So it's like, okay, we're concerned about our performance reviews and we're accountable to our boss and we're constantly sort of checking in. Am I doing a good job? Are you guys going to fire me or am I cool? Like, is it good? Am I doing good work? Am I not doing good work? Am I doing enough work or not enough work? Where am I at with that? That doesn't work this way. That's not how it works here. It's just not. The way things work here is a very different arrangement, which is that you're going to do Y amount of work. Then you get paid. That's how it works here. That's how it works here. And a lot of people can't handle that. A lot of people can't wrap their heads around that and just get good with it and understand that that's how it works. You do the work first, then you get paid. First, you learn how to do things. Then you practice that for a while. Then you have some success with that. Then you get to teach people all that. Very simple process, right? But in the beginning, most of your sales come from retail sales. That's kind of heavy lifting. It's hard work. It's about meeting new people, using the other rules of the playbook that we've given you to lay this out for people and present our products and our business opportunity to people. And in the beginning, it's mostly just retail sales, right? Whether you continue to move to the next phase, which is recruiting people and bringing people on and sponsoring people as coaches, is really up to you. But that's how the thing grows. And a lot of people don't ever sponsor anybody, and they look around and they go, I don't know, this thing doesn't really work. No, you didn't really work it. Because if you're honest, you're an entrepreneur. If you're an entrepreneur, it's on you. So that's the first thing, wrapping your head around that, understanding the mindset that's involved with being an entrepreneur, rather.
Okay, so let's pause right there. Now, how many of you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call from last week? Not like today, but last week it was about the sneak peeks. Did you guys listen? Anybody listen to that from last week? Okay. That one and that message that he just sent right there were tied together, guys, in this. And I think and this is where I got trapped very, very early in this thing, is I was so sheepish about ever really talking about the coaching opportunity because I was so freaking scared to ask anybody. And can you guys relate at all? Like to that, right? It's like I'm scared because I don't have it all figured out, right? And that's the thing that always hits me. Now, I would say this at the same time. If you're still in retail land and you're still not got that wheel cranking yet, it's difficult to talk about, right? It's difficult to start talking about the coaching opportunity. So the more you can get the retail world cranking a bit, it's got to be a bit. You don't have to have a ton. Truthfully, guys, I would say this. You'd be surprised at how many successful coaches actually don't have very large client base, a very large client base. They sometimes have a very loyal client base that actually they talk and they go, hey, I want you to join me in this thing, and people end up joining, and then they make their network that way. Okay, is what ends up happening, and that's ultimately the way it ends up growing. But I would say this, guys, early on, if the sooner you can get, so if you're concerned about, oh my gosh, if we can make this work or whatever, and if you're stuck in retail world for too long, like I was, particularly for my first year and a half or so, probably, until my coach just kind of had that like brutal honesty. He's like, dude, you gotta start stepping out of your comfort zone and start talking to people somewhat about coaching. And now, guys, really what's happening is I'm using more, not only talking to people directly about it, but indirectly through my posts. I don't know if you guys are catching that. I'll put my posts up and I'll mention something like even this morning. It's like, hey man, get a chance to do this, get a chance to inspire. We're about a tribe. We're about people. I'm starting to seed towards our sneak peek, which is going to be happening at the end of the month, 2 weeks from today. Okay. I want to start seeding that a little bit because honestly, if we never ever talk about the coaching opportunity, guys, when it comes to this, you'll only look like a fitness freak person. That's just being really honest with it. You're just a fitness coach, and not to say that that's not a valuable thing, but you will stay stuck in retail world then, okay? And then you won't get the benefits of the residual income, which is where it ultimately helps you then to have the breathing room to not feel the pressure of, gosh, I've got to sell 10 challenge packs this month to make any money in this thing, right? I can actually, be more around, 5 or so, trying to keep that at the Success Club 10, and then I may be successful. Does that make sense, everybody? A little bit? Okay, and this, so just kind of letting you know that's kind of the method behind the madness. And then what starts to happen when you do start talking about the coaching opportunity, and I would really highly suggest, if you haven't listened to that other one about sneak peek, she mentions about the sneak peek stuff, but she also is just like the mental framework for talking about coaching. I think even investigating what does it look like to talk about coaching, right? That really, really helps. And sometimes, guys, that can help people when you talk about, wow, this helps hold me accountable. Yes, this helps ultimately help defer some of my costs because I want to be healthy and fit, but I'd also like, help you pay for some of my stuff that I like to do, all that to say. All right, let's keep going because let's Dave do the talking. Sorry, I keep going.
An employee. Okay, you don't have a boss here. For the people who you've worked with me personally, well, I've mentored personally, you know this very, very well. I'd love it if you watch this video, if you comment on it, and just tell people, Dave's not my boss. I'm just somebody who helps people figure it out. I show them the path. That's it. I don't boss people around because it doesn't work. What works is helping people understand why they're here, what they're here to do, what they want, and then helping them develop a plan to go get it. And that's what we develop for you with the playbook to a certain extent. You're going to have to modify things. You're going to have to figure out how hard you're willing to work. It just really depends on what it is that you want. So that's the first thing. I think another thing about treating this like a business is really understanding time management and just being accountable to yourself with the management of your time. If you're not a good time manager and you're constantly not getting things done, you have a couple of choices. One choice is to just continue to be a crappy time manager and not get anything done. That's one choice. Another choice would be to learn about time management. You know, in playbook number 3, we talked about personal development. We talked about mindset and skill set. Time management's a big skill set thing. Some people have a mindset around it that they don't want to be controlled. I don't use calendars. I don't want control. I'm called bullshit on that one. You don't use a calendar because you don't want to get anything done. Calendar's mainly a skill set thing, though. Okay.
Ouch.
Mainly a skill set thing. It's not a hard thing. Doesn't matter whether you use a paper calendar or whether you use an online calendar like I do. It doesn't matter as long as you have one and you manage your time efficiently. Book things on your calendar. If you're a new coach, you should have a few calls set up with your sponsor. If you don't, whose fault is that? Is that your sponsor's fault? Or could you take responsibility for that and reach out to your sponsor and say, hey, I want to learn more about this. I'm really interested, you know? Kind of got this entrepreneurial mindset thing. I love it. I want to do that. Can you show me how to do it? Or maybe your sponsor is kind of new, or maybe your sponsor is just not somebody who's super engaged in this business. People come in here on all different levels. That's okay. There's someone who can teach you, I guarantee. Keep going up and find somebody who will help you learn how to do this business. I guarantee you there's somebody who can help you learn how to do this business. Time management. Very, very important. Schedule your time if you want to be effective with it. Also with time management, just understand, people try to multitask. You know, if you're watching this, you're hearing my voice, and you're over on Facebook, and you're wondering why your business isn't doing well, you're not watching me, you're not taking notes, you just have this on in the background as you wash some dishes, or watch a cat video with the sound off, and you're wondering why your business is not where you want it to be. It's because you lack focus. That's why we do live events, actually. So people often ask me, well, you film all this content, why don't I just watch it online? Because you're not watching it. Because you're doing 2 things at once or 5 things at once. That's a time management issue, okay? This can cause all kinds of problems in your life unless you get a hold of it, okay? Because if you don't, Beachbody will leak into the time that you owe to other people. Now, that might be your boss, it might be your spouse, it might be your kids, it might be your dog, it might be your church, it might be some of the other clubs that you're involved with. But if you don't manage your time, Beachbody can leak into those things and cause all kinds of problems for you. But if you do manage your time, it won't. And you'll get all your stuff done. Isn't that great? Just block.
Oh, ow. Seriously. Dave, what? Right? Anybody? Come on now. Man, that's the truth. For me, sometimes I've had seasons where I'm better or worse at that, but dang, really, guys. Or you just go the other direction on that and you don't do anything, right? Because then that's the other option is you just go, well, hey, I got, only X amount of time, and you have Beachbody then ends up getting no place in your schedule because you've not really made a schedule. And so then you're like, oh, well, that inviting thing, I don't have to do any of that. It's like, oh, I know it's important, but, I got to take the kids to soccer, or I got to take, you got ballet lessons or whatever. I don't care what it is. That's what ends up happening. And then we just say, forget it. For me, I got some lesson plans I got to make, blah, blah, I just, do that. Or this new little thing I had to get, whatever. Okay. So just, yes. Anybody? Let's comment. Anybody comments on that real fast? Anybody? You don't have to. It's okay, BD. Okay. Well, we'll keep, if you want to you can type it in the chat. That's great. All right, keep going.
Some time every single day to do the things that we've talked about in these videos. Adding to your list, using the system that I gave you, if I, would you, all that stuff, you can do in an hour a day if you turn off all the noise and just laser on it. Whether you will or not is entirely up to you. Once again, you're an entrepreneur now. If it happens because you made it happen. If it doesn't happen, because you didn't make it happen. And it's just really that simple. I think also there's a lot of mind management that goes into treating your business like a business. I used to get really, really worked up about this business, and I would let it just bug me for days and days and days when somebody would say no. Back in the day, when I first started, probably somewhere like you are, when I would offer my business opportunity to somebody and say, hey, if I sent you a video, would you take a look at it? And they said no. I didn't just hear, I'm just not interested in that. What I heard instead is, I don't want to be a part of your stupid business, and you're really stupid for being part of a stupid business like that. And I would get devastated, And I let that go on for way too long. Until I finally just understood, what's my job here? My job is to ask. That's it. That's my job. My job is to ask people. If I, would you? That's it. They get to decide. It's entirely out of my control. So I take responsibility for my role in that, right? Because I can ask more people. I can learn how to get good at asking, right? If you're not using if I, would you, are you really improving the way you're asking? Maybe not. Maybe that's the problem. You can control that. You can control the way that you share the business opportunity, and whether you go through and you ask those people the questions that I laid out for you in the previous modules, right? Are you asking them, where are you at from 1 to 10? Are you asking them, hey, how much money would you need to make this worthwhile for you? Are you asking them, how much time would you need to invest in this in order for it to be worth your time? Are you asking them, how long are you committed to working this business so you can figure it out and really learn how to do it? Because I can tell you that the people who are doing those things, they win. The people who aren't, don't. It's really simple. And that is under your control.
Okay. So remember, guys, we've talked about this in the past. We've talked about lead measures and lag measures, right? Lag measures you can't control. Those are the things that literally lag. So you can't control how many challenge packs somebody buys from you or how many people buy from you. You can't control how many people actually sign up for coaching, okay? But what you can control are the asks, like he just said. My job, he said, my job, ask. That's my job. My job is ask. And what we need to do and learn to do, if you haven't listened to Go for No yet, it's a book that you may, if you struggle with it, Go for No is literally starting to desensitize yourself from the no, okay? The hardest part is initially, and I would say this, guys, it's easy for seasoned coaches, I think, to say this to people and say, you know what, you need to just kind of remove the emotional attachment to the ask. So when you ask somebody, you need to remove that. I think there's two pieces that why that's, I think, significant. Number one is, yes, I've done it enough times and I've gotten rejected enough times that I've experienced that doesn't have as much impact on my self-worth anymore, okay? But I would say this on the other hand too, is that the people I'm asking now compared to the people that I asked in the very first months of my business are very, very different in terms of their personal relationship to me. Does that make sense, guys? So initially, it is scary when you're inviting your first cousin and you're saying, or your aunt or somebody like that, where there's a lot more personal relationship at stake. I'm literally 20 layers out of those people initially. So it might be my aunt's friends 14 times after. You know what I mean? Separation, degrees of separation, like everybody knows Kevin Bacon, right? So I'm so far removed from that first initial layer that it's not as big a deal. It's like there's some people here, the only way I know them is just through Facebook. I've never met them in person, and I understand that. That's kind of the way it rolls. But God's brought that into that influence for me within those people, so it's a little bit easier. So I would say initially, you're gonna have to push through some of that resistance. That's all I can tell you guys. And I say this, I've said this a ton of times, is that the first 500 invites are really, really difficult, and then it gets easier. First 500, okay? And again, if you're inviting about 5 people-ish per day, let's just call that out, that'd be about 100 days worth, okay? And maybe spread that out a little bit longer, so maybe it's over a quarter, right? 120 days or whatever, 90 days or 90, whatever. So just putting that to you so you know. And that could even simply inviting people to free challenges sometimes initially is a little bit scary, right? That's part of the reason why we do free challenges. All right, keep going.
About understanding what things you can control and what things you can't. The things you can't, release. You let those go. The things you can, everything I do, the ask part, that I control. How many, how good I get at it, how many times I do it, and how long I stick it out. But other people and their opinions and their decisions and what they choose to do with their lives, I mean, can you take responsibility because one of your challengers decided to go on a bender and eat 5 pizzas and 3 gallons of ice cream last weekend? And now they're all confused about why they've gained all this weight. No, it's not your fault. You showed them what to do. They chose to do something wrong. Let that go. That's a big piece of treating your business like a business. And I think the last thing where I want to finish up is follow the rules, man. Follow the rules of the playbook. These 10 things have just become second nature to me. This is what I do. It's one of the reasons we got away from this, actually, was because it became so automatic for us, we forgot to teach it to people. But those 10 things, committing to being here a year from now, plugging yourself and the people you sponsor into the support system, personal development, you control that. That's entirely within your control. Push and play, drinking Shakeology, taking control of your health and fitness, that's within your control too. Maybe your business isn't where it needs to be because you have a long way to go and you're not making any steps forward in your own health and fitness. That may sound harsh, it's just true. But you control that. That's not somebody else's fault. Not your kid's fault that you eat like crap. You don't get to blame them for that because you're the one putting food into your mouth. You have control over that, and you can change their behaviors too if you're willing to do it. Sharing your story. So important that you share your story and talk about, where you were before Beachbody, and then what solutions you found, and then the things you did, and then what it is that you're excited about the future. Maybe you're not where you want to be right now. Talk about where you want to go and where you're going and why you're excited and why people should come along with you. You control that. You control all of that. Make a list and use it. Take the time to make a list. Number 7, expand your network. Keep growing it. So you don't make one list and it's the list for all of time. It's got to grow. That might mean you need to learn some stuff. Who controls that? I don't control how complicated things are. I control my ability to take the time to understand them. Following the system. Dig in. Dig in. If I would you. Take some chapstick or lipstick or whatever. Write that on your mirror. Make it a part of your everyday jargon. Make it a part of how you talk to your kids if you have kids. Try that on your kids. If I do this, will you do that? You got a bargain now, right? You might not want to bargain with your kids, but practice on them because it's good stuff. Number 9, get a success partner. Find somebody who has the same dreams, same goals, wants to go the same place you want to go, and then you guys go get it together. That will be one of your best friends for life. And here we are, number 10. Treat your business like a business. Handle your mind, handle your body, handle your time. And understand that the things under your control are on you. If it happens, and you get whatever it is that you want out of this thing, and I really hope you do. That's why I spend as much time as I do recording all this training for you guys. It's because I want you to get what you want. But it's not up to me. And it's not even about these trainings. That's you. It's you, and whether you're willing to do the work. And if you are, you can have what you want. If you're not, I guess keep buying lottery tickets. I don't believe in that. I believe in good old-fashioned hard work. I've given you 10 rules to follow that guide you. You put them into play, you follow them. I want to hear your story. get a hold of me. Get a hold of me and talk to me about what you've been doing and how you've been following these rules and how they've helped you grow your business and get what you want. All right. I want to just end by thanking you for your time. I know these videos are long. I know this training kind of goes on and on and on. I hope you found it really helpful. If you have, please feel free to share it with people. This is not something that I hoard for my team. I don't really believe in that. Part of this whole effort with filming these videos and also doing the live events for sure is to help our company understand who we are and what we do so that we do it on a high level of excellence. So that every one of us can be really proud to call ourselves, as I am, proud to call myself a Team Beachbody coach. All right, that's it for now. Hopefully I'll see you at a Playbook Live event.
All right. So as you can see, guys, see how the screen populated with these other rules? So like up next, rule number 1, rule 2, 3, 4, they're out of order, but that's kind of the deal. So, and again, like I said, they're all, let's see, well, rule number 8 is actually that's the long one. That's at 40 minutes. But honestly, guys, a couple of those videos per week, you could easily get through that in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Couple 3 of those videos, you can get through that, and really help you move forward. And guys, here's the truth: I don't want us to have to reinvent the wheel. I think sometimes I've taken a little bit of a for lack of a better word, because it's the teacher in me that I want to kind of do it. I did it my way. I want to own, we're going to make our own unique thing. I'm like, there's great coaches that are by far more know more than I do, and why not just tap into them? So I would just say, avail yourself of the great resources. Okay, so that's enough said here. I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts? What are you thinking about in your brain? And this is where I'd like for you to open up the mic and talk to us, okay? What notes did you take?
Hey guys, I think what spoke to me the most was the time management. I mean, that's going to be a big thing that I'm going to have to really look at and figure out. And I mean, all the way down to, like I said in the comments, what kind of calendar I'm going to use so that it's useful to me. A lot of times I'll go get like a paper calendar, and it's got to be pretty and it's got to be set up a certain way in order for it to be effective for me. But I'm going to have to play with that a little bit and really discipline myself on time management. It's still a work in progress for me. I'm just now to the point where I'm getting up in the mornings and doing my workouts because I'm realizing that's the best time for me to do it. There's too many excuses if I don't do it then. So that part is going to be a learning lesson for me.
Sounds good. Awesome. Yep. So having time management, creating the space somewhere on a calendar, whether it's written or digital, however you want to do that. I would suggest probably keeping it to one or the other if you're going to do it. That probably will help you the best, just to make sure you're not driving yourself crazy going, wait, did I write that down or did I type that in? I don't know. So yeah. All right. Who else? What else you got, guys?
Dan, for me, a lot of it, I really like this video, and I've actually watched it 3 times just to take some notes on it. I have 7,000 notes, but I don't have it with me. But anyways, I really like the fact that he talks about that we are in control of our business. Dan, you're our coach. You're going to give us guidelines. You're going to give us tips. You're going to give us the roadmap, but we have to initiate it. And I think for a lot of us, we wait, for you to say, okay, hey guys, we're going to do this, or, this is your next step. No. That's great for you to do for us, but we need to take that upon ourselves to learn and to grow our own business because, we are not you. We have to build our own empire. We have to build our own system that works for us. Like I said, don't reinvent the wheel, but make a system, like Tashana was saying, scheduling is huge. Make a schedule that you can do every day so it doesn't play into your personal time, and I've learned that mistake too. And then another thing that kind of ties into this, to Dave's video, was on the 12-week year. And it says something to the effect of, if you're taking a cross-country trip and you have turns out of order, or, you know, you just have really bad directions, you know, you're just going to end up someplace else rather than your destination. So that's where those 10 tips, you know, the 10 sequential actions come into play. If we follow these, we're going to get somewhere. And that's what he's saying. You know, don't veer off, just follow the actions and you're going to get what you want. But nobody else can create that for us. And that hits home for me because I have to control that. I have control. Nobody else.
Yeah. And I like the fact, because really, you know, we have this in one of the images we use on our calls on occasion, but is that complexity is the enemy of execution. So to have 10, like, they're not easy, but they are simple. Like, you can understand them. It's not like, oh my gosh, I don't know what that means. They're not necessarily easy to do and implement, but they're at least, it's understandable. And the more we can make that understandable, guys, then we can go and focus in on what we really, really need to do. Because, you know, there's a lot of bells and whistles that we can do in the business that aren't like necessarily business building activities. You can do like, hey, I can make the best blog ever. I can make an amazing YouTube channel or my graphics can be so compellingly crazy with lots of cool effects and all that kind of stuff. But the truth is, probably, you know, that effort could be spent in a different way sometimes, you know, just because
it might not be driving your business.
Yeah, it might be driving the business because we're actually, it's somewhat actually avoiding doing the business because it's safer, right? Because then you're like, oh, well, hey, if I spend a little more time making this picture look prettier, then I don't really have to invite a few more people because I'm going to take my beach buddy time. Oh, my time's up. Okay, got to go on to the next thing, right?
Yeah,
and like you said, I love what he said too, man, because it's really hard, guys. Entrepreneurs, especially, guys, if we're used to having someone tell us what to do all the time. It's so difficult. And I remember Claire initially in this whole business, dude, that was her life. She was admin assistant, like just waiting for boss to say, do this, boss, or do this, admin assistant. Okay, act. She starts to act, waiting on the boss almost. And I'm sure she was preemptive on some things, but like major movements was pretty much like wait for the boss to say, this is a major movement. But, you know, and then some of the maintenance things you can do. But, you know, and so to switch your brain into, now I'm going to start my own challenge. What? Oh, gosh, wait, isn't Dan supposed to tell me that it's time to start a challenge yet? It's like, you know, all those things initially. So Claire, what are your thoughts, having a more experienced coach in all of this? What are some of your thoughts as you listen to this?
Oh, well, I was disrupted because my kids must have changed my hotspot Wi-Fi password on my phone, so I can't get my computer going, and trying to get the iPad going for the child. And anyway, such is life. So I got to call AT&T after this. But anyway, yeah, just to piggyback on what you said, Dan, you know, it finally dawned on me, even before you went back to work, that, you know, I needed to do my own challenges, do my free challenges, which I've learned from all the summits I've been to and Super Saturdays. But, you know, I've just been, just like you said, you know, the administrative assistant, boss, I need some, you know, when's the next date that we're going to start? So just this, you know, this week, sorry, Chair, or not this week, this summer, just doing challenges with different people, having my Team Cup, Linda, you've been great being part of that. Actually, Linda's been a really great role for me to mentor, because she's really wanting to learn, and you know, it's just great to have someone who's really excited about that. And so that's taken me out of my shell, and I'm able to you know, plan things more, I'm not as afraid. I'm still kind of timid about free challenges, but I'm not as afraid about them anymore. I used to be, I don't know what to do. But I like how you're doing the 3 days. So I don't know. I guess I went off on a tangent, and I'm not talking about the video you just posted, but time management, yeah, that's a big deal, especially when you have a job. I really try and post my big posts in the morning, and then I try and do little ones during the day, but it's just hard. And I used to get so frustrated about that, but now I'm just like, my followers know my routine, so why not just stick with it and just try and work with those people who actually look for my posts. I have posted in the morning 190 days. I get this little message on Facebook that you're on your 190th day of posting in a row. And, that's kind of fun to see that. So I know that people are watching, even though I don't get likes or whatever, but it doesn't bother me as much anymore.
Okay.
So that's in a nutshell.
That's good. And I think it's one of those things when you obviously you do what you can, but then just making sure that we are. And I would say this too, like, so Melanie Mitro, if you've ever seen the Melanie Mitro video where she talks about, what do I do each day? Like, what do I do each day? What does my daily habits look like? And she said, I really can't say because it's a little bit different every day. So there's certain behaviors, there's certain things that she tries to do on a regular basis. But like, she would even say, which is crazy to think for her, now granted, she's a multi-millionaire. So what she needs to do on a daily basis is very different than a starting coach. But this, by the way, Tashana is our top coach in our whole, so she's 3 years running top coach. And so, but the point being is that, sometimes each day it's going to have different focus depending on what week you're in, right? Like right now, my main focus is following up because I only have so much time. I'm not going to do brand new invites so much right now. I'm really just developing relationship with my free challengers because I started a free challenge today. I'm going to develop the relationship with those people. So when it is time to invite, I've developed some relationship, and that's where I'm going to spend my time versus, hey, I'm going to just send these blind invites to people. It's kind of not a waste of time, but it's not as well. I'm not investing my time in a way that's effective because I'd rather to develop, hey, so how'd you like the salad? Let's go. What would you think? Oh, it's great. Okay. Hey, what are you eating? Hey, will you eat this? Does the salad sound good? You want to try it? That kind of stuff. So I'm actually taking time to develop. Then at the end of this week, I'm going to start more inviting towards our challenge coming up in October here. Okay. And that's where I'll start planting the seeds for that, beat the sweets, right? Or something like, you start thinking, what does our next challenge look like? Right. And the more you can be then preemptive about that, then you're not like going, oh my gosh, I don't even know what, what? Oh, and it's that intentionality, thinking about a little bit broader picture. Nancy, do you have any thoughts about this, my dear? Anything? What are you thinking?
Well, I had two thoughts actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, time management and focus. Those are two things that I struggle with constantly. Yeah, because there's just, there's a lot going on in everybody's life. I'm not unique in that, I know. So it's, I do like the idea of the paper calendar. I've tried both. Mm-hmm. And I'm kicking myself because I had a paper calendar and I threw it out, and that's really the most effective way for me, other than electronic. Because I'm visual, I have to see it. It's got to be in front of me, out of sight, out of mind. The other thing I was thinking really isn't so much to do with my business as it is thinking about my challengers. I just got 2 new women, this past month, and they've kind of already, I've contacted them several times. They're in our challenge, and I've contacted them several times. I've left them messages. I've emailed them, and it's like they've just disappeared. And I'm sort of agonizing about that, but then at the same time, I've done what I can do.
Just hearing what you said, right?
Yeah. And exactly what he said. Yeah. So I thought, well, this week I'm going to call him. I haven't actually picked up the phone and called him. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm just going to, I'm just going to let it go. And every so often touch base with them. I think what I get is I fear that they don't like the product. They don't like, they're not using Beachbody On Demand. And actually I have a couple customers who have Beachbody On Demand and they don't use it. And I'm like, seriously? I just don't get that. But so that's one of the things I struggle with a lot. Am I doing enough to keeping them engaged, and how far do I go?
Well, one of the things that I do, guys, when I get that kind of situation, so giving you that little bit quick of a coach, it usually, I think you need to I got to come up with a better phrase for this, but I have to when you, I would say, like, when you amp up on somebody, like, you're going to amp up, I'm going to get muscular. But I want to, like, coach up on them, which is, like, just put your coach hat on and, like, okay, right now, we may have a relationship or whatever, but now Coach Dan's getting in the game, okay? It's not just Dan McMurray, but just, like, Coach Dan putting in. And then I start to really think of it more of as a life coach. And I go, okay, normally, and this is what I made a message what I would say, okay, hey, I've tried to contact you a couple times. This might be a phone message or a Facebook voice message. Hey, I've contact you a couple times. Normally, what's the case in this is it's usually somebody, maybe they looked at the stuff, they felt overwhelmed, they didn't really know what to do, so they didn't really get started, and now they feel behind, so they already feel like a failure.
Yeah.
It means there's going to be fear, and they don't want to disappoint me, and so they just kind of go silent on me. That's one way. Or it's the fact that they literally haven't even thought about it, and it's just they've been so busy, they've not even spent really a thought on it, basically, or it's way back in the back of their mind, and it's just slipped their mind. Or anywhere in between that. We'd love to know where you're at with that. Do either of those scenarios sound familiar, or anywhere in between? Because I'm here to help you no matter what in how that rolls. And then you can go, it's like, if you do feel like if you just like not done well, we've got other ways of getting you involved. We do these challenges every month, so maybe we just delay your start, or start to give them solutions so they're not like, because normally that's the main reason. It's shame. When you don't hear, when it's silence, guys, it's shame. 100%, almost all the time. Or it's the other end, what I said, it's just flat out so busy they aren't even thinking about it.
Yeah.
More frequently, I would say, at least in my experience, it's probably about 75-25. 75% shame, 25% I'm just too busy. Right? That's what I would say. So really encourage you just be honest with them and just go, when I've seen this, my team has seen this, this is kind of the typical pattern, let me know where you're at. And then if you don't hear anything after that, then you've literally done probably pretty much everything you can do. See, Nancy, you really utilize this, especially if you, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Nancy and I were talking, actually, I mentioned that exact thing to Nancy today, is that we have good engagement. There are a few, though, that just fell off and they're not there. But I think that's our critical point, Nancy, is actually coaching up on them, because, we are in charge here and we're running the show, so we might as well act like it, I think that's what we needed to hear, because I was sitting there thinking, what do we do? But that's what we do. And like Dave says, let it go. If they're not gonna, if you reach out and you reach out and you reach out and they don't do it, just let it go. You give them the tools, you give them the information, you give them everything they needed to succeed. If they don't do it, that's no longer on you, and it shouldn't weigh on our hearts or on our minds.
Now, what I would say is that a lot of coaches will reach out, but they'll be like the desperado kind of a version of that, which is like, hey, I noticed you didn't do the thing. Oh, would you please kind of, would you sometime maybe check in? Like that kind of thing. It's just like dating, man. It's the same story. If that type of person were trying to date you, you'd be like, I'm out of here. Like that would be the thing. And I think that's the same kind of story. So when you can just kind of confidently go, hey, this is where I'm at. Like, I'm here, and this is the typical pattern. You show professionalism in that. I'm here for you. totally understand if you don't want to, and that's great. Let me know, and here's your next step if you want to follow up with me, and I'd love to help you. That's it.
Absolutely.
And at that point, it's like absolution. You are absolved from any sense of responsibility, I would say, at that point. All right. Any other things, guys, for the good of you? It's 9:34. We probably should wrap this up. So, good stuff. Hope it's helpful. What we are looking to potentially do, guys, which is also kind of interesting. Jen and I talked a little bit about this as a potential next step. But at the same time, there's two sides of it for me. So I thought about it, like maybe looking at doing like an invitee kind of challenge where we would all or posting challenge where we'd say, hey, we're going to post these things each day, that kind of stuff. And I do want to think about that. I want to do a little bit more thought, but I was thinking about maybe something next Monday to do like that, which would be like a posting challenge and be like, okay, here's 7 days of posting, or 5 days. Actually, 5 days always work better for coaching stuff. Like 5 days of posting ideas. People post within that, and then what we'll try to do is mix it up a little bit so we're all not going, here's our Shakeology post, and then our whole team goes, Shakeology, right? And it'd be like, and then so like we can like alternate days and go, okay, you guys are going to start on day 1. You guys are going to start on day 2. You guys are starting. And then at least we're offsetting it a little bit, which makes it a little bit less obvious for people who follow all of us. So that might be a thing. But at the same time, so I'd like to do a little mini challenge like that. I think that'd be fun to kind of pull us together and get us all into common purpose. I'm also looked at, there's a kind of a fun little bingo game. It's like coaching bingo. And y'all, if you complete your little bingo things, we'll get a prize. And that might be fun, kind of a thing we can look at. So I'll do a little looking on that here. I want to start to pull some of you guys together as part of a little bit more of a leadership team in this, those of us who are active in this. So I just want to make sure we've got people who are doing this. And it doesn't need to take a ton of extra time, but just maybe bouncing a few ideas, and then we can kind of, as we build the team more and more, we'll do that. All right, guys. So I'm going to sign off here. We'll record, this is recorded, and I'll post it in the Coach Club. Tag your downline. People just always encourage you to do that. And again, guys, I would say, when it relates to your coaches, and if you ever feel like, oh my gosh, I've got to chase this person down all the time, and I feel like blah, 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 it's the same story we just talked about. They got to own it. It's like, literally, I love what he said. It's like, what do you want? What do you want? And I'll help you if you want. But if you don't want anything, I can't force you to want anything, right? I think that's what we try to do. We try to go, hey, I want you to want this. I want this more. Excuse me. I want you to want this as much as I want this. So I will be the want for you, which never works. It never works. And then you feel frustrated. They feel stalked. It's awful. It's awkward. And let's just let people own their own journeys, because that's really what it is. Sound good? All right, people. So I hope you have a fantastic night, and I thank you so much for being on the call. We'll talk to you soon. Tashana, we'll see you soon, girl. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.